Welcome back. This is Jesse. It's 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. This is the 45th consecutive live stream. So if you're brand new, awesome. Welcome back. If you're on the replay crew, we need you too. And if you've been around here since the very beginning of these live streams, September 6th, not even that long ago, right? September 6th. So just a couple months that we've been doing live streams. Awesome. Welcome. We're going to be covering Bitcoin. Bitcoin dominance. We're going to be looking at the crypto assets. They're still continuing to pump and are still bullish on the weekly chart. Gold had that amazing short squeeze. Is it in retracement mode right now? We're going to take a look. Is the NASDAQ bounce over? We're going to take a look at that too. So we got a lot to cover, a lot to dive into. Here's the Bitcoin chart right here. It's still ultra bullish overall, right? Still ultra bullish. And a lot of people were talking about the daily close yesterday, right? And we talk about this often, and turn the indicator off just for a second, just kind of show it and move up here, right? So if I put this horizontal line right here, right at about, close enough, I'm just going to put right there, right? So that's about 35,424 right here, this horizontal line. This was the daily candle close on November 1st. That is the highest daily candle close of 2023, right? And it was pushing up. It was pushing back up 35,892 on the wick. And at the end of the day, it closed below it, right? So you got bearish divergence here, right? So bearish divergence. And let's kind of look at here. So you got bearish divergence on Bitcoin, right? So bearish divergence here. And is this going to be a sneaky lower high, right? So you got bearish divergence followed by possibly a lower high by like a few dollars, right? So it's too early to say. We'll find out. If not, it looks like it's kind of forming this rising wedge, right? And it only makes sense that, if it does fall and break out of this rising wedge, of course, it could always break up to the upside as well. I think that's a lower probability. But if it plays out similar to, say, gold, right? So gold, had this massive move up and then it started to roll back over. So if Bitcoin kind of goes through this rising wedge, however it plays out, comes back down, retraces, finds key support, whether it's at, target 1, target 2, target 3, or target 4, right? Finds support and then bounces. That would be the next buy the dip opportunity, possibly, right? So at that point, it's too early to call it right now. It's got bearish divergence from here and here, and this could be a very sneaky lower high. It didn't put in additional bearish divergence. Doesn't mean it couldn't put in additional bearish divergence up here. It is possible. We have seen that play out before, not only on Bitcoin, but we've seen it play out before on NVIDIA had long-term bearish divergence. Google, so many tech stocks, right? So many crypto assets. So it's a wait and see right now. I'm still in my spot position, and I have different strategies deployed on different assets. Bitcoin, I'm always in a spot position, and then it's either whether or not it's going to put on some sort of a leverage long or a leverage short position, right? So that's Bitcoin right there. Kind of watching it, see if it's going to put in, if it's going to start to possibly roll over from here or put in additional bearish divergence. We'll see. As of right now, it's currently still ultra bullish on the daily chart. So like I said, it's kind of a wait and see right now. It does look like it's kind of forming this. I mean, I don't love patterns, and this one, I definitely don't love this pattern right here, but it does look like it's kind of consolidating upwards into a possible rising wedge. I don't even love to call that as a rising wedge, but that's kind of the two trend lines are kind of like consolidating together, right? So take a look at that. Bitcoin dominance, we're seeing a lot of the altcoins pump right now, at least the ones that are on the super watch list, and the one that we put out just over the time. We've been talking about Cardano buy signal. We put out this crypto breakout back here a month ago. So a lot of things that we've been covering. Bitcoin dominance looked like it was starting to break down, right? And then it did hit target 1, hit target 2, and it's got another pending sell. So sell signal, buy signal, another pending sell below the trending dots on the daily chart. Will it come down and hit some more targets? We don't know yet. We'll find out in the near future, I'm sure, or we'll find support and then Bitcoin makes its next bounce and rally. But I want to take a look at the weekly chart on these crypto stocks, because we talked, or not crypto stocks, on these crypto assets, right? So we got these crypto assets we want to take a look at here. We cover this on the latest video, right? So go back to this Cardano buy signal. This weekly chart, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. It's regained the 200-week moving average on Ethereum. And I talk about another key possible target bookmark on that video. So go take a look at it. And it's Ethereum's right into resistance on as of right now. So if it regains it, could we see Ethereum come up and hit target 2, very similar to Bitcoin? It's possible, right? Solana broke through these shorter term targets, still ultra bullish on the weekly chart. Also into that second target area. There is no 200-week moving average on Solana. So, but it is right into that that key target area on it's run into resistance. Will it regain it similar to Bitcoin and then make a move to its second target up here? We don't know. It's too early to say, but it is currently ultra bullish. Chainlink has regained the 200-week moving average. This is one of the targets pointed out in this video here. That second target that I keep talking about, is up in here. So is it going to retest that target? It's trending that way, and it's trending hard, right? It's ultra bullish on Chainlink as of right now, up 7% today. Cardano, right? Cardano had that buy signal, and it's still bullish on the weekly chart. Smash a like, John Pye. Welcome back, everyone. West Diddy, let's go, rock and roll. Javier, yo, let's go, snipers. Javier Reyes, yes. Good morning, Market Snipers. J.O. John Pye, hello, everybody. Good morning. Jewelry Affairs, do you think ADA will have a small retrace? Jewelry Affairs, it's just a matter of, what time frame you're looking at. There's always retracements. It could be retracing. You got to specify what you're talking about. Are you talking about the 5-minute chart? Are you talking about the 1-hour chart? Are you talking about the daily chart? Are you talking about the weekly chart, right? So we're looking at the weekly chart today. The weekly chart is bullish, right? So the enter for me was back here at 25 cents based off of the daily chart. And I'm continuing to hold it, my spot position based off of the daily chart going bullish, hitting all these targets, to flipping bullish on the weekly chart. So I'm going to do my best to hold the spot positions. It doesn't mean that it's going to happen. But if Cardano follows Chainlink, if Cardano follows Solana, if Cardano follows Ethereum, if Cardano follows Bitcoin and retests the 200-week moving average, boom, I'm going to be knocking this out of the ballpark, right? So I'm going to be holding it from my 25 cents. We'll see how it does at the 200-week moving average. Maybe it doesn't even get that high. The weekly chart is still bullish. A lot of times people ask me if there's going to be a retracement because they're feeling fear of missing out. Maybe they missed it, right? Maybe they missed this breakout down here. And, this is why I show these charts at the bottom, because I'm showing that Bitcoin broke out to the upside. Then I show Ethereum broke out. Then I show Solana. Then I show Chainlink. And then I put out this video here. And then I put out this video back here. What assets are possibly lagging time-wise, right? So what assets are lagging time-wise? And that's what we kind of want to see, is what assets are lagging time-wise. So Cardano, could it be lagging time-wise? Yeah, it looks like it, right? We thought it was back here when we put out that video a month ago, right? We thought it was lagging time-wise, and here it is. It's up from 25 cents roughly. It was up 45%. It's currently up 38%, right? So yeah, will there be pullbacks along the way or a small retrace on lower time frames? Definitely. But uh, the weekly chart is bullish, right? The daily chart is ultra bullish. So even on the daily chart, if you're talking about small retracements, here is a small retracement, right? Here's a small retracement back to 33 cents from 37 cents, right? So from this wick to this wick down here, that was 11% retracement, right? So, that those are my thoughts on it. The weekly chart is bullish. Yes, there could be retracements. Yes, it could always retest the trending dots. When, we don't know. We just know that the daily chart is ultra bullish. The weekly chart is bullish as of right now. So I'm trying to push it based off of the weekly chart, right? So that's the weekly chart on Cardano. Hopefully that answers your question. Andre Brits, what's up? Oh, Jewelry Affairs 4-hour chart. I mean, 4-hour chart. You just got to be cautious with these lower time frames. Maybe it's you find a buy the dip scenario, right? On the 4-hour chart. Well, on the 4-hour chart, you had this potential retracement here. So you got 30 cents here and then a breakout. So, you're looking here on the 4-hour chart. That was probably your last entry there at 29 cents based off the 4-hour chart. I mean, maybe you're looking at from like here, right? I don't like chasing, right? I definitely don't like chasing. This is what happens is you don't get in down here. Maybe you saw this consolidation here and it came up, or maybe here where it consolidated for, from the 24th all the way to like, let's see, what was that, October? Yeah, for pretty much a month, it kind of went sideways and then it took off to this upside again, right? So, I don't like chasing. It's already up here, ultra bullish territory. This is the 4-hour chart. Ultra bullish on the daily chart. I'm not chasing here. So if you missed it, that sucks. But the last buy signal was at 25 cents. Maybe on a 4-hour chart, you could have got in at 29 cents, right? But the weekly chart is bullish. And, we even talked about, it was a pending buy signal here. It was a pending buy signal here. And then there was a buy signal at 34 cents. So at what point do you just let it go, right? Yes, there's tremendous potential to the upside. But then at what point do you find your next, you just move on and find your next one? Like Near, for example, had a buy signal way up here on the weekly chart at $1.60. It's below it, right? It's below the buy signal. Is that a good time to buy, right? So are you chasing, or are you looking for that next possible one that is the buy the dip scenario, right? So you've got the buy signal here at $1.05, $1.05, right? Pumped all the way up to $1.68, let's call it, just $1.68. Now it's retraced back down from $1.68 on Near back to the trending dots, 16.5%. It's a wild animal. So if you look at the 4-hour chart on Near, right? Obviously, none of this is financial advice. Obviously, this is just for educational purposes only. Obviously, it's for entertainment purposes only, right? So Near, will it regain the trending dots on the 4-hour chart, right? Will it regain momentum back up to the upside? Or is it going to continue to trace downwards from here? I don't know. We'll have to see. So that's the 4-hour chart. Here's the daily chart. Still bullish, no longer ultra bullish. And the weekly chart had that buy signal. And, it's retraced some of this massive candle. It's kind of retraced up. That could be it. Who knows? It could flip back around. Maybe it takes a week or two and then builds momentum back up to the upside, right? So there's no 200-week moving average on Near, but still have this massive potential major target up here at $4.78 to the middle of the target box. Could be massive opportunity. That could be, one of those plays. Jewelry Affairs, you're welcome. You are welcome. I hope that helps, right? Andre, what's up? Welcome back, Andre. Rick's Moneymakers Hunting. Hi, everyone. Been on site working on a vacation property. Honey-do list. Oh, yeah. We sold our vacation cabin rental in 2021 because I thought it was the peak of the market. It spiked a little bit higher, but I always said in real estate, if I want to sell on the way up, I don't want to sell when everyone's trying to exit. So we had a cabin rental up in Big Bear and Airbnb, and it just seemed like too good to be true. We had built an amazing Airbnb business. We love the cabin rental. We went up to our cabin up at Big Bear Lake. Went up there often, right? And the price went parabolic, and we were able to cash out 17 years of net rental income. So, I said, hey, we're selling, and we'll wait for, prices come back down and stuff like that. Rates were at all-time lows, right? Prices were pumping parabolic for a 1962 cabin, right? So we sold, but I remember the honey-do list. They were fun. I actually liked the honey-do list on the cabin. It brought a lot of got me away from the charts, and gave me a lot of fulfillment, like working around. I'm not a handyman whatsoever, but it's surprising what YouTube can do for you, and then you can go out and try to attempt a project and attempt to be a handyman, right? What I didn't do was I didn't do plumbing, and I didn't do electrical. I just stay in my lane of like a novice, right? So awesome. Rick's Moneymaker Helton, welcome back. Mala, hi Justin. I'm in the recorded coaching on daily time frame. Bitcoin formed a bearish divergence. Yeah, we've been talking about it. Mala, awesome that you're in recorded coaching. Yeah, we've been talking about bearish divergence on the daily chart. So I'm not sure if you've been following us on the daily chart, on the live streams and stuff. But yeah, it formed bearish divergence on November 1st. So 7 days ago, it formed bearish divergence. And you can see on the indicator, there's actual bearish divergence on the indicator that you're talking about. So since you are in recording coaching, awesome. I don't know your Discord name and your YouTube name and your Twitter name, right? But if you told me the Discord name, then I would definitely know, right? So October 25th, November 1st, bearish divergence. The indicator is picking it up on the daily. Is this going to be a sneaky lower high? Because price did close lower than it did back here. So is that going to be a sneaky lower high, right? Everyone's calling breakouts to the upside, right? Everyone's calling breakouts to the upside. And lo and behold, the daily candle closed lower, right? Doesn't mean it couldn't take it out today, tomorrow, the next day, whatever, or create additional bearish divergence. But it is something to note that it closed below this blue horizontal line here. So something of note. Let's get back on track here. I took profits on ADA. Okay, awesome. Rick's Moneymaker Helton. You got to have your plan, right? Taking profit is better than not taking profit. I'm trying to push mine based off of the weekly chart. So the weekly chart on spot, right? I think there's massive potential, but there's nothing wrong with taking profits. I'm all about it, right? But even from this current price, there's a potential of 84.5% to the 200-week moving average. I'm trying to push this on the weekly chart as long as possible. Near Matic. Okay, Matic has hit all 4 targets. Shorter term has regained the 200-week moving average, right? It's trending towards, quick sip. It's trending towards this first longer term target box, right? So we're going to continue to watch it, see if it can pull it off, right? It's currently ultra bullish on the daily chart, and we are pumping almost 7% today on Matic. Dot is ultra bullish on the daily chart. These are all the 4 shorter term targets here. We've got another pending buy signal on Dot weekly chart. Here we go. Rock and roll. Mala, this is Marilyn. Oh my God, Marilyn. Awesome. Jewelry first. Thank you. You're welcome. Awesome. Marilyn is in the house. Not just recorded coaching. This is Marilyn recorded coaching since like day one. We've got a long-term market sniper in here, Marilyn, aka Mala. So awesome to see the long-time recorded coaching snipers on original pricing. Marilyn's on original pricing over there, locked in at lower prices for life, right? So we increased prices from $49 to $79. Maryland was in before we even had sniper tools, right? We started the sniper Discord with no indicators. We started the sniper Discord with no recorded coaching videos. We started it with just, people wanted me to start it and coach them, whatever. We started with nothing, and we've built it up over time. So hopefully you're getting a lot of value. I love to see the long-term snipers. That makes me feel the best that, hey, we're on the right path, that we're continuing to sniper the markets together, and that, you're finding value of it. So hopefully I can over deliver what you pay for long-term. Another long-term markets sniper in the Discord, Johnny C. Good morning. Welcome back. All right. So let's get back to it. Let's get back in the flow. DOT had a pending buy signal on this weekly candle, right? Had a pending buy signal. And then we had another pending buy signal on this weekly candle. And then it disappeared. Then it disappeared, right? And here we are. We're back. We're back on the pending buy signal on the weekly chart, right? So kind of got this longer term downward trend line. It was starting to break out back here. And if you look back on the daily chart, right, we had it dialed in back here on the buy signal. We had a lot more aggressive approach back here, right, on the based off of the daily chart, sub $4, right? Now we're hitting live breaking news. Live DOT is $5 today. DOT is up 1.5%. So it's ultra bullish. Had a sniper precision entry back here, sub $4, right? Came back up into this weekly downward trend line. Was battling, and then we were watching it on the live streams and on the videos. It was breaking out. It was breaking out on the daily chart, right? And then boom, target 1, 2, 3, 4 on the shorter term. Flip over the weekly chart, and we have massive potential, right? $5. You can do the math. This is $15, right? How many X is that, right? So from $5, pending buy signal. This is why I don't chase. There's always another possible opportunity, right? So could Cardano regain the 200-week average? Yes. Could DOT hit target 1? Yes, it's possible, right? 200% possible potential, right? Possible potential. Pending buy signal there. Mana, aka Decentraland, right, was breaking out of this downward trend line. Had a buy signal last week. It's pushing up. It's pushing up. It's pushing up. We don't even have targets on this one. I got to map up some targets on this one for everybody. But yeah, there's massive potential on this one as well. Whoo! What a good day to be a market sniper. All right, let's get to the NASDAQ, right? Everyone calling for a breakout on NASDAQ. Everyone calling is breaking out above this downward trend line, right? I didn't see it. The way I had it drawn out, I didn't see that it was breaking out. Yes, on the wick, yes, but not with the daily close. I didn't see a daily close back above, right? This was, so let's just take a step back here. Let's just think about this logically without emotions. And we will know if this is the bottom or not, right? We will know. Why? Because there's going to be a higher low that gets put in. So I can see it in the comments. I can see on the Twitter X posts. I can see it on here. Let's just talk about this for a second. I can see it on I can see it on YouTube. I can see it on everything, right? The emotions get involved. The emotions get involved, right? So we shorted this down, right? We took profits. We got in here at 15,314.25. We shorted that bounce. In hindsight, that was the perfect play, right? In hindsight, that was the perfect play. Got to pat yourself on the back every once in a while. I don't see anyone else patting me on the back, right? I got to pat myself on the back. Wife's not in here going like this, right? So I got to do it myself. But profit taking, right? Followed by the short squeeze. Ooh, they were squeezed short. I'm watching it. I'm watching it. Is it back on? The bull run is back on, right? The bull run. Good morning, bud. Be positive. Good morning. Is the bull runs back on? The bull runs back on, right? As of right now, it's possible, right? It's possible we're going to go see all-time highs, right? It's possible. But first, we're going to see a higher low. At some point, if the bull run is back on, right? If the all-time highs are coming in, right? All-time highs didn't happen. All-time highs didn't happen. All-time highs didn't happen. All-time highs hasn't happened yet. It's possible, right? At some point, there'll be all-time highs. But when, we don't know, right? It would put in a higher low, right? And then that would be the higher probability that we're going to go see all-time highs. Until then, I'm shorting those bounces, right? I'm going to short those bounces until then, right? So let's take all those off. Just kind of talk about it, right? So they put in a lower low. It put in a lower high, right? It took, this is a lower low, took out this low. This is a lower high. It's putting in lower highs and lower lows. How can I get excited about going to all-time highs if we just put in a lower low, right? I can't get excited about making all-time highs. So if you're seeing people talk about make all-time highs after just putting a lower low, wow, that's crazy to me. That's just crazy. At some point, it's got to put in a lower high, a higher low before we can go to all-time highs, right? So that's just when you know the emotions are getting to them and they're not just trading the chart in front of them, right? They're not trading the chart in front of them, because if they did, they noticed that a lower high was put in followed by a lower low, right? So it's a downtrend until proven otherwise, and there's no higher low yet. At some point, there's got to be a higher low, whether it's here, whether it's here, whether it's, I don't know, somewhere here. Maybe it's all the way down here. Maybe there's bullish divergence, right? Until that happens, there's no talk of all-time highs, right? And if there is, they're letting the emotions get to them on a short squeeze, right? So yeah, it's a great short squeeze, right? At some point, it's got to put in that higher low, or it's going to put in bullish divergence, right? So that's my rant, right? That's my rant of the day, right? There's my rant. So as of right now, let's get back to it. Let's get back to it. Let's just dial it in. Oh, hey. Let's just dial it in. So here's the lower high horizontal line. Here, let me dial this in a little bit better. And it got rejected there. So you got this horizontal candle close on the daily chart there, got rejected there, and this downward trend line. So you've got resistance up there right now. So before the next breakout, if it gets rejected, maybe it comes down like this, puts in a higher low. Maybe it does, right? It's possible. And we talked about this on the live stream, right? We talked about it. If there is a trend reversal, it's going to put in a higher low. Until it does, it's just a possible short squeeze, because we just put in that lower low and we just put in a lower high right there. So that's what we're going to continue to watch there. Let's take a look at the lower time frames, right? Let's see if we can see anything on. Yeah. So let's see if we can see anything on the lower time frames here. Let's take a look, right? So it was ultra bullish on the 4-hour chart for the NASDAQ. It's no longer bullish on ultra bullish on the 4-hour chart. So is it going to start to break down? It's possible. So the reason why we're going to go to the lower time frames, because I was looking at these charts beforehand, right? And gold is breaking down, right? So gold had a short squeeze. Gold had a nice move up from making that low, right? And we talked about it, so we'll cover it. But I want to take a look at here. And if we dropped all the way down to the 1-hour chart, right? I know. We're going to drop down the 1-hour chart. Here we go, right? We had bearish divergence going back to our side hit 80. What was that? 86. 87.86-ish on the 1 hour chart, right? On the short squeeze. So going all the way back to sub $15,000. The emotions run high, right? The emotions. Javier, U.S. Oil, find support in the weekly. We'll take a look at it. Be positive. Good game, bud. Caesar, good afternoon. Welcome back, Caesar. Awesome to see everyone on here. So 1 hour chart, bearish divergence, right? So it's, it's just the name of the game. Bearish divergence, bearish divergence, bearish divergence, right? And then is this on the 1 hour chart? Is this a lower high, right? So this is what I was looking at before the live stream. Is this a lower high on the NASDAQ 1 hour, right? Then we have a reversal candle after bearish divergence on the 1 hour chart. I know this is crazy talk. This is the 1 hour chart, right? But it works on the time frame, on the time frame, all time frames, right? So you got bearish divergence followed by a reversal candle. I love it, right? And it's bearish divergence for a long time for the 1 hour chart, going all the way back 6 days of bearish divergence on the 1 hour chart, followed by a lower high, followed by a reversal candle. Now we have a sell signal. The retracement's on, right? I'd be surprised if we don't see a retracement now on the NASDAQ after potential lower high and a reversal candle and a sell signal. We haven't seen that set up. And, I bet on it, right? I shorted it. So I bet on it. I short it. Stop losses in. We'll find out. This even looks like a double top, right? Even looks like a double. Come on. It's my chart's lagging. My chart's lagging. Can't keep up with the snipers, right? So here, let me hit the refresh button. That's the only way to do it. Oh, declare status. I confirm. Back to markets. Okay. All right. So where are we at? Come on. Trying to throw me off my game on oh, come on. That's ridiculous. So trading view trying to hijack my live stream, right? Oh, that's funny. Okay. So let's get back to it. This even looks like a double top, right? You got this here and here. And remember, this is the daily horizontal, and then you got this downward trend line based off the daily chart as well, right? So almost like it's a double top. This is the end of the bearish divergence, most likely. This is a lower high here, reversal candle. I shorted it, right? I shorted it with NASDAQ futures. And so, I put my money where my mouth is, right or wrong, whether you're going to make some money or not. I haven't even looked at it because we went live, right? We went live, but I could tell you based off the chart, right? I'm in the money. I'm in the money, right? So that's the NASDAQ futures. I'm back in my shorts. Was that it? We're gonna take a look at for retracement. We don't know. It could put in a higher low, right? But it's going to retrace back to that higher low. So I'll put out some charts, and I put out a bunch of crypto charts this morning talking about the weekly in the Discord. So go take a look over at my chart channel over there, Jesse Olson Charts in the Discord. I put out a bunch of weekly charts there talking, doing an update, but I'm going to post my NASDAQ short based off the, it's coming into resistance, and then based off the 1 hour chart with bearish divergence, all that stuff. I'll post that. I'll do a little write-up on it as soon as I get off the live stream here in about 30 to 45 minutes. I'll probably do it, but I just want to kind of show it. So I'd be surprised if we're not coming back, putting in a higher low at some point, right? Whether it's around 15,000, that's a nice even number, 15,000, even at that, from the short, right? You're looking at pretty good on futures, right? That's 20-30% move, right? 20-30% move. Okay, rock and roll. That's NASDAQ. And the other thing I was looking at the NASDAQ is Dow Jones looked like it was looking very similar on the 1 hour chart. Bearish divergence, right? Bearish divergence followed by a reversal candle on the 1 hour chart. Okay. SP 500, bearish divergence, reversal candle. Russell 2000 was breaking down way back here on a couple of days ago. So we're already seeing the Russell 2000 start to break down. Russell 2000 leads the way a lot. Watching the Russell 2000 break down before the NASDAQ for 2 years. And I called this out in November 2021. Bitcoin and Russell 2000 led the way, and they were within like I think it was like 4 to 6 days of each other. They both started breaking down first, and then the NASDAQ followed. So the Russell 2000 is a lot of time, not always, but a lot of times is the canary in the coal mine. So I use it as a potential leading indicator. And then Bitcoin and Ethereum, they kind of like flip back and forth. They use each other as canary in the coal mine sometimes. And so I do take a look at other assets. But so the 1 hour charts are breaking back down on Monday, November 6th, right? The SP 500, Dow Jones, and NASDAQ all look like they're about to break down. So yes, fear of missing out. The emotions are getting the best of the people on Twitter X app. They're even doing write-ups and newsletters. I could see it. I could see it. I could see it. But before that happens, before all-time highs happen, right, we're going to put in a higher low, right? So if calmer heads prevail, being non-emotional and just literally reading the charts will keep us on the right side. We'll continue to sniper the markets together. Smash the like button, everyone. Smash that subscribe button. Help me, help you, help me. Smash it, smash it. Please help me, help you, help me. All right, back to it. Let's take a look at, let's get back on the daily chart, and let's take a look at TLT, right? So we talked about this. We've been covering it. There was bullish divergence, right? So we had bullish divergence, and we were talking about that it could just be, it may take time to find, and go through a bottoming phase, right? So we talked about it, that this longer term downward trend line would be something I'd be more interested in, because by that time the weekly chart is probably flipping around, right? Expect, bounces and retracement. So if it were to bounce up like this, maybe it puts in bullish divergence, right? We talked about this, we kind of covered it. And if you flip over the weekly chart, it's still bearish on the weekly chart. And this is why I think this. It just takes time to go through a bottoming phase, right? You get the 200-week moving average up here. Thirsty today. I don't know what it is. I'm thirsty today, but it could go through a bottoming phase, could go through bullish divergence. You got bullish divergence back here, right? At some point, it's going to put in a higher low. And then at some point, that higher low, then we'll have a breakout from this longer term downward trend line. Very similar to what Bitcoin did back at the bottom, right? When I took a leveraged long position at 16,800, right? So back here, you had bullish divergence, and then there was a higher low, sneaky higher low, but there was a higher low, and then the breakout from this trend line here. That was this shorter term trend line was based off the daily chart, but the weekly chart, it was something very similar. It took weeks, if not months, to play out. We were talking about it in December. We were talking about it, and then I took the long position January 3rd. So that was the recap there. So going back to TLT, got this long-term play. It could take time to go through a bottoming phase, and it could see additional bullish divergence. At some point, it's going to put in a higher low, and that would be that higher probability reversal. Rock and roll. All right, let's see. The miners, they're not doing anything, right? The miners aren't doing anything. Let's look at the daily chart. Still holding on my spot positions. We talked about getting out of the options shorter term last week on Friday, because time decay, and they weren't pumping, right? So they weren't pumping, and so they're right around the trending dots right now. I know, pending sell signal, reversal candle, all something to pay attention to. This was, looked like a higher low, just under $10. So, continue to hold it. At the end of the day, if I take a small loss, I didn't go all in, and holding stock positions, not the end of the world, right? Same thing with Bitfarms. This is looking like a higher low. So any point above here is still a higher low. Anything above $1.05 is still a higher low. had a false breakout, come back down, could be a false breakdown. Expect fake outs along the way. If it was easy, everybody would do it. if it was easy, everyone would be getting rich off of Bitcoin miners, right? So we'll find out if it's going to put in another lower high, right? And then break back out to the upside. Too early to say. It's only hit target one so far. So we're just kind of holding on, waiting from there. Boom, 40 minutes. Do we have any requests to chart? ABK, I do not understand how TLT is in position to go up while you state NQs to go down. Trade each chart individually, ABK, right? We always talk about that. Trade each chart individually. They're not always correlated one-to-one. And so just trade it individually. One, I'm looking at TLT, bullish divergence on the weekly chart, and it's had a buy signal on the daily chart, right? While NASDAQ was pumping, and then based off of a 1 hour chart. So you got to trade each chart individually, whether that's the weekly chart, the daily chart, the 1 hour chart, NASDAQ versus even the Russell 2000 versus the dollar versus the Bitcoin. You got to trade it all individually. So I know you got the experts out there talking about, well, this only can do this when this happens. That it's not one for one. It's not 100% to 100%. Trade each chart individually. We always talk about that. So let's go back through. Let's just double check. Went through a lot. Let's see. Let's take a quick glance at Magnificent Seven. Kind of flat. NVIDIA less than 1% up. Meta half. Amazon less than Tesla 1.5%. Right. So is this going to be a lower high possibly, or is it going to continue to find support, come back up, fill this gap? Too early to say, right? Could put in a higher low at some point. Not much going on with the Magnificent Seven, kind of flat, like I said. So let's jump over into the comments and stuff, and then chart some requests over here. I'm not seeing like specific requests. Let's see, Javier. Will U.S. oil find support in the weekly chart? All right, let's take a look. I posted that chart on the daily chart. It was breaking down and hit latest target. Here, let me just type it in here. U.S. oil. There it is, right? There it is. Ooh, breaking down. Yeah, I hit this target yesterday with that close at $77, and now it's just breaking back down, right? So it's bearish. It doesn't look like it's going to find support on the daily chart, Javier. It's breaking down. So a quick recap. We had bearish divergence. We called this out. We talked about it. Then it was a breakdown from this more vertical trend line. A candle closed below the trailing dots, another one, and then the sell signal, and then this longer term trend line, right? Broke down, came back up, put in a lower high, back tested it, and then since that last sell signal on October 23rd, it's been down only, right? So down only from there. MACD is, by the way, not really in a trade there. Just wondering on the U.S. oil. Are you looking for a buy the dip scenario, Javier? Is that what you're asking for? You're not really in a trade, but just wondering on the U.S. oil. Yeah, no problem. It's okay. I mean, but just let me know if you're looking for like a buy the dip or something. As of right now, it's bearish. It's breaking down from that last target box. There's probably an eyeball test. There's probably another target here, around below 73, and then you got the 200-week moving average from there. So daily chart is breaking down. Weekly chart, bearish, right? And then I have this longer term target box that's never been hit yet. So hit multiple targets to the downside, probably 3 out of 4, very similar to the dollar. And it's just breaking down, right? So let me remove the check mark. So you've got U.S. oil coming back down, most likely to retest the 200-week moving average, right? Another MACD bearish crossover, right? And it's breaking down on U.S. oil. So that is U.S. oil. It is breaking down. It is bearish on the weekly chart. It is bearish on the daily chart. Let's take a look at the monthly chart. Monthly chart as a pending sell signal on the monthly chart, right? Is this a high? Is this a lower high, right? High, lower high. MACD never had a bullish crossover. MACD never had a bullish crossover. So it It started its correction from back here. The wick was March 2022. Came down, bounced off the 200-week moving average, and now is looking like a lower high. Sound familiar? Should that be my next thumbnail? Does that sound familiar? I don't know what they do. I'm not a professional influencer. I'm not good at influencing, right? So I need to be better at it, but I'm not. So pending sell signal on the monthly chart, right? You still have this older target from here. Could it go back below 200-week moving average and be bearish? Yeah, it's trending that way. This was a peak. This could be a lower high, right? MACD never had a bullish crossover on a monthly chart. Weekly chart is bearish, breaking down. It should have found support here if it was going to bounce. It needs to find support. If you're a perma bull on U.S. oil, it better find support at 200-week moving average. Otherwise, it's breaking all the way down, right? So trending down that way. That's U.S. oil. I wish I was in that short position. So that's U.S. oil. And if you're in a long position, I'm sorry that I just laughed right now. I apologize for your pain. I apologize. Hopefully you'll get on the right side by being here every day with market snipers. You'll get on the right side, and we'll continue to sniper the markets together. Awesome. Any other requests? If not, let's take a look back at Bitcoin, 35,300, right? Let's look at the lower time frames. Let's see. Close. So this is bearish divergence. Could this be similar to like the NASDAQ, right? Could this be similar to NASDAQ where this is like a lower high after bearish divergence? Another possible lower high. We had an RSI sell signal back here yesterday, right? Is it going to break down? We'll see. We'll see if it does or not. Bitcoin dominance breaking down. And so let's go back to the NASDAQ. So we have the reversal candle, sneaky lower high in the 1 hour chart, and then the sell signal, and just is trending back down from there. So we'll see how it plays out. Any other questions, any follow-up questions, let me know. Anything else you want me to chart, we can take a look at it. We're only about 47 minutes in. If not, we can call it. But let's see. Let's take a look at any other ones. Wow, it is just red today. Let's just take a look at the change. So price change. We've got some high-risk assets that are down today, right? All the high-risk ones, right? All high-risk are down. Are they telling us something? Let's see. All of them. They're all super high risk. So let's go down to like maybe lesser high risk. I don't know. Let's see all the green ones. Crypto, I guess. Crypto is all green as of right now, right? So that's pretty much it. And then looking at like Target, where's Target? Netflix, kind of. Then you've got like all your other ones that are kind of flat for the day. So percentage change here. Let's get back to it. I don't want to mess up my flow on it. So Ethereum, Bitcoin. No other comments or questions. Just kind of watching, hanging out, seeing how it's unfolding. Right, dollar, lower time frames. Let's get back on the higher time frames. Let's take a look at the dollar. So had the breakdown. Could this be a bear flag, right? Still trending downward, kind of like the MACD kind of catch up. Is back below the zero line, right? So trending down, the EMA is getting below the zero line, right? So are we going to see a further retracement? Obviously it hit target 1, could find support, bounce, could find support, bounce, could find support, bounce. And if it doesn't, then it starts to break down similar to US oil, right? So that's why the arrow is down there. If it doesn't find support at a key target area, then we put that big red arrow down, similar to US oil, right? So that's what we're kind of watching for there. Is this a bear flag? You know my thoughts about patterns, but if this is a bear flag, wherever it ends up being, then we could see, possibly it breaks down like this, and maybe that bear flag brings you back down to like, this next target. So that'd be like target 2, target 3, right? And that has been the theme on the dollar, which has been crazy. Even on the longer term targets to the downside. If we zoom out here, it hit 3 of the 4 targets to the downside. Then it hit 3 of the 4 targets to the upside. We've been talking about this a lot. Will it continue to that theme where it hits 3 of the 4 targets to the downside and then bounces back up, right? So that's what we'll continue to watch on the dollar. Not much else to report. Bitcoin, just kind of holding on, right? Still ultra bullish on the weekly chart, still ultra bullish on the daily chart still, right? And it's just only the lower time frames as of right now look to start to break down, but that's where it starts. That's where it starts is the lower time frames, and then it could move on to the upper time frames. Just be cautious. Like if you're shorting while Bitcoin is ultra bullish, you could be short squeezed to the upside very quickly. So I wouldn't short it if I were you. I definitely wouldn't short it. I'm not shorting Bitcoin right now, but I am shorting the NASDAQ as of a couple hours ago, and it was based off the lower time frames and coming into key resistance, right? So key resistance, key daily close below there could be a sneaky lower high, right? And I know if it's going to go make all-time highs, I know it's going to put in a higher low first. So that's what I'm shorting. And if it doesn't put in a higher low, right, and it takes out the bottom, right, then we'll see how long I hold the short or not, right? So as of right now, it's just based off of the shorter term time frames, and it could just be a retracement back to like 15,000. Maybe it doesn't, right? It's possible it doesn't, but even if it retraces back to 15,000, it'd still be a great short. Maybe it puts in a higher low, and then we'll play to the upside from there if a higher low is getting put in. And then we'll flip from bearish to bullish, and we'll ride the wave to all-time highs. We'll go back to the moon. This is not sarcasm, right? So we'll ride it to the moon every dip of the way. And if you buy that dip, you better sell that rip. So with that, I'm not seeing anything else. Thanks for everyone's support. I appreciate you, and we'll see you on the next one. Have a good day.